Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Okay, so today, before we get into today's video, we've got the little introduction explaining what we do. So, as always on our videos, there is no pause and there is no talking. In some cases, Andy and Kirk will not have a clue what this video is, or they won't know what video is coming up anyway, but they'll probably know the videos in some cases, and I may not know the video. But one way or another, one of us won't have seen this video before or heard this song before. We will give our honest feedback at the end, and whether we like it or whether we don't. And it will obviously be judged pretty much on our own preferential musical styles. So if we're not massive big fans of power metal, unfortunately, if it's a power metal track, we may give you that, but we'll try to be honest and give constructive criticism. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, there we go. So that is Cult of Luna and Leave Me Here. So I will kick us off because I believe you guys both know this band. Well, I know Andy does because it was your recommendation. But I've never heard this band before, and I've never watched the video. I just literally downloaded it so we could upload it, so I hadn't had a chance to watch it. I've got two kind of thoughts on this one at the moment. It's I need time to watch the video and break the video down as a completely separate entity, because I was too busy trying to understand the music and get the vibe of the track versus the video, and I couldn't what I found myself is I couldn't quite. If I started trying to break the video down and understand the context of the video, I suddenly realized I wasn't paying any attention to the music at the same time. And then if I started paying attention to the music, I wasn't watching what was going on the screen. I couldn't I know we talked about multitasking a minute ago. Well, I obviously can't. I liked both elements, and that's why I do like both elements. I liked the track and I liked the video, and I think it deserves me going back through that video in a lot more detail because I really liked what they were doing in it. There's some really nice storytelling. I love the way they've shot the video in this kind of real cool grainy black and white, giving you this kind of 1940s, 1950s era Soviet destruction, politicalized, environmental kind of, you're being forced this message into your, and it's rebellion. And I like the spanners on their heads breaking the TVs off the wall. How they shot it, I don't know if it was a case of they actually, because I was like, oh, they've done some really clever work with like CGI almost screens, and I'm like, no, that's a practical effect there. So I'm wondering if it's wooden framed green felt that they've used on walls and they've just put them up there and then superimpose the video screens. I can't believe they would use my actual LED TV screens and smash them off of a wall. That would be far too expensive to do that. But I was really intrigued from the videography element of it, about how they put this all together. And I really liked the storytelling element, the idea of the little girls, and then cut into the older lady. And I'm going, is this the young girls that have now grown up? Is this? I got very immersed into the storytelling element. I was trying to put my thoughts on where, as I always do, what sort of genre does this fall into? Is this partial doom? I got industrial elements with some of that riff, like, dun 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 dun. I was like, well, that's a very industrial kind of repetitive riff sort of thing, which I liked. Like the vocals, yeah, nothing wrong with that track at all. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So. Yeah, I'm going to definitely go back to that video and break it down. I'm sure Kirk's got a full kind of background knowledge about how in Soviet era 1940s, how this all kind of links together and how Celtic Frost borrowed from this. And
so the latter part, there is a Celtic Frost angle to this. So
of course there is.
I'll come to that last. So
go on, Kirk, go for it.
Cult of Luna. Yeah, so Dave, this comes under the umbrella term post-metal. Now, there is an ongoing debate whether that is just basically avant-garde metal. Is post-metal a term that we've had to create to describe the music of that band Neurosis, who are the forefathers of this? And Cult of Luna clearly have a huge Neurosis influence on their music, but a bit like Sepultura and Slayer, they've overtaken Neurosis now and are probably the better of the two bands, even though they owe a lot to them for their sound. The video, to me, when I listen to Cult of Luna and Neurosis and ISIS and bands like this, I always think this is the audio equivalent of the literary works of Franz Kafka, that absurdist, neo-existentialist writing. If you ever read The Trial or The Castle, this is the musical equivalent to it. And the video captures that as well. I know what you mean, actually, about like a Soviet dystopia to it. I actually didn't see that as much. I saw the individual looking at the surroundings and thinking, I will never master this environment. I'll never be understood. One has to have a sense of humor to cope with the tragedy of existence. So when they're putting in the music, you said it's doom. It's not really, though, is it? They're using the dynamics of doom metal. They're not playing any typical doom chords. There's no air guitar parts in any of this music. It's all about the white heat of aggression and the catharsis that comes with releasing that. And yeah, it's just so out there, and it's probably a genre that's never got to the level it needs to be, because the artists who are purveyors of this are really taking metal music and heavy music to new levels and deserve, I think, a bit more respect. But it definitely goes back to the band Neurosis. One last thing, Cult of Luna, their album from this year is excellent, and it will definitely be in the Screen Blast Repeat top 50. I had an epiphany this year when I was out doing a countryside walk. I was in the Hertfordshire village of Kimpton, just approaching it downhill, listening to this in the rain, their new album. And it was one of those moments where you put your arms out to the sky and look up to the heavens, and you don't even care what the track listing is. You don't even bother checking. You don't even mind if this song goes on for 20 minutes. You've just got one of those moments where the emotions capture you. So yeah, big fan of the band, and it might be a bit controversial, but I think they probably are better than Neurosis these days as well. Andy, fill us in.
Well, this was my choice, as David rightly said. It goes back to this is from early 2000s, I believe, and it was on a Metal Hammer cover mount with live recordings and music video, pretty much like what we do on our channel. You know, we're borrowing the format, and I was just intrigued by the video, particularly the song sort of hit me instantly as well as one that I would like to listen to, but I've never really taken it any further than that. I can't really get into these post-metal avant-garde bands, but this particular track, because of it sort of connected to this amazing video that it sort of resonates with me. I think you need to watch it multiple times, because every time I see it, you spot something new. I mean, I love the video. There's a very weird storyline going on there. I love the black and white, the warehouses, the TVs, that old car. I just love everything about it. I mean, one bit that always sticks in my mind, I don't know if you picked up on it, is the sort of mid-section. There's a middle section of the song sort of slows down, quietens down, and the bloke's shutting the car door repeatedly, and it's like perfect with the beat of the song.
No, I didn't pick that up.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's some sort of underwater alien picking him up, and lifting him. Somebody gives him a phone number and puts it in his pocket. You see something new every time you watch it. I just love the visuals. It's a great song. I wish this was a stepping stone into me getting into Cult of Luna and avant-garde metal and post-metal, but it's just something I'm struggling with a little bit. I've got a couple of albums, but I haven't given them the time. I do go back to this video and this song a lot because just absolutely love it. It takes me back to sort of a different time in my life, and I remember perfectly where it came from. And so this sort of old format of buying magazines and reading about bands, and instead of checking them out on YouTube, they or MTV, they gave you a DVD to stick in your computer or your DVD player to sort of check out this band, watch this band live. Here's an interview with so and so. It's sort of a different time, but yeah, great video, great song, love it.
Shall I just bring in the Celtic Frost explanation then?
Go then.
This is relevant. So as we know, Celtic Frost are credited as being the first ever avant-garde metal band because of their 1987 album Into the Pandemonium. So if someone asks what is a description of sludge metal, one explanation is it's a hardcore band playing doom metal. Post metal really it's like a Celtic Frost interpretation of doom metal, but the non-metal influences are very apparent. Swans, Joy Division, and even in that, did you hear the Radiohead OK Computer influence, where he's doing that more falsetto type vocal? So Radiohead, I know, are a big influence on Cult of Luna. So I think, Andy, to get into post metal, maybe listen to some of these darker non-metal bands. Certainly Joy Division, who are one of the most influential bands of all time.
I've sort of tried to, I've sort of heard, New Order back in the day. Not just the chart songs, but some of their earlier stuff. I mean, I tried to get into Joy Division as well. I mean, there's just so much out there. Mm-hmm. I'm fascinated by your connection between sort of non-metal artists. You're saying, did you hear the Radiohead influence? No, I didn't. I don't know Radiohead. You've obviously got a vast range of different spectrums of music, and you can see how non-heavy metal bands influence metal bands and vice versa. It's fascinating, isn't it, really?
Mm.
Some people might think, well, avant-garde metal, isn't that just sort of something a bit weird? Some people want to be a little bit different and don't want to conform to sort of usual genres. It's not. It's experimenting with your musical ability, in some cases drawing on your influences from bands that aren't considered heavy metal. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, a lot of the post metal bands, they'll be influenced by artists like Nick Cave more likely than Iron Maiden. You know, that's the thing. This is why you could call it even art school metal. You're not going to hear any Iron Maiden or Judas Priest in that type of music, are you? I wouldn't even call it doom. It's only the tempo that has that sludge doom feel to it, isn't it? And it's only because of Neurosis that post metal is synonymous with those tempos. It's because the genre basically subgenre was created to describe the music of Neurosis, and it's just blossomed from there.
Well, there we go. That's a nice little summary there from Kirk and Andy. Now, if you like this video, please do subscribe, click the bell icon, like and share, and we will, of course, see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care. Bye.